Hello, hockey fans, and welcome to this week's look at the standings. Let's start in the Eastern Conference. The Montreal Canadiens still in first place, 41 points, 6-3-1 in their last 10, mostly without Carey Price. Lost their last two. Detroit Red Wings, 34 points, moved up a spot, 7-0-3 in their last 10, won their last three. The Ottawa Senators, 33 points, dropped a spot, 6-3-1 in their last 10, lost their last game. New York Rangers won their last game against the Senators, 4-5-1 in their last 10. They moved up a spot, 39 points. Washington Capitals, they've lost a game after that long winning streak they had going, 7-1-2 in their last 10, 38 points. New York Islanders, 35 points, 6-2-2 in their last 10, lost their last game. Boston Bruins, they hit the road and they moved up a spot, 7th, 7-1-2, very nice record there, 1-1. New Jersey Devils, the surprise of the East, 31 points. They've dropped a spot, 4-4-2, won their last game. The Pittsburgh Penguins out of the playoffs. This is the same thing that happened last year. That team needs to be torn down and rebuilt. They have so many good assets they could trade and get some really good first round picks. It wouldn't take very long for them to bounce back. They've dropped 3 spots, 30 points, 4-4-2, lost their last 2 games. Florida Panthers, they moved up a spot, 30 points, 6-3-1 in their last 10, lost their last game. Tampa Bay Lightning, there's another team. They don't need a rebuild, they just need a year off. 29 points, dropped a spot, 5-4-1 in their last 10, lost their last game. Philadelphia Flyers, 27 points, 5-3-2 in their last and lost their last game. Buffalo Sabres, 25 points, 3-5-2 in their last 10, lost their last game. Carolina Hurricanes, 24 points, 4-4-2, won their last 2. Toronto Maple Leafs, it's really hard to figure this team out. They're 24 points, 4-4-2, won their last 2. Oh, that's Carolina, won their last 1. And the Columbus Blue Jackets, 23 points, dropped a spot, 5-4-1, won their last game. And that's it for the East. And now for the Western Conference, the Dallas Stars, 7-1-2 in their last 10, still in first place, 42 points, lost their last game. St. Louis Blues, what a change from last year, eh? First place all the way across except for the second and third week. St. Louis Blues, second place, 34 points, 4-3-3, lost their last game. Minnesota Wild, they jumped from 8th place to 3rd, 32 points, plus 5 change there. 4-4-2, won their last 3. Los Angeles Kings, still in first place in their division. 35 points, 7-2-1, won their last 4. See, the West has got some nice streaks going. San Jose Sharks, 6-4-0, 28 points, lost their last 3. Arizona Coyotes, back in the playoffs, 27 points, 4-6-0, lost their last 4. Chicago Blackhawks, 32 points, dropped 4 spots, 5-2-3 in their last 10, won their last game. Nashville Predators, 31 points, dropped a spot, 3-5-2 in their last 10, lost their last 2. And out of the playoffs, the Winnipeg Jets, 28 points. They went up a spot, 5-5-0, lost their last game. Anaheim Ducks, well, they're crawling out of the basement slowly. They went up a spot, 5-4-1, won their last 2. Vancouver Canucks dropped 2 spots, 26 points, 2-5-3 in their last 10, lost their last 2. Edmonton Oilers, 5-3-2 in their last 10, moved up 2 spots, 1-3. Colorado Avalanche, 23 points, dropped a spot, 4-6-0 in their last 10, lost their last game. And the Calgary Flames have won 2. They're in the basement though, 5-4-1 in their last 10, dropped a spot, 22 points, looking more and more like a first round pick in Calgary. Until next week.